All right, here we are for the second video in the Eric Carle Collage series. We have already, in my first video, talked about how to take your picture from a drawing to a collage, and we started with our big areas. So the second thing that we're gonna do in this video is we're going to work on our small things. So right now, I need to do the head and the antennas before I can go on to the decorations on the butterfly's wings. And this is a shape that I still need to use the transfer paper, but now I have some scraps, and this is not garbage, so we don't throw our scraps away, especially with collage. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna find a space that I think I could fit this right here, and I'm gonna try to eyeball it and see. I can fit this head with the antennas in this corner, okay? So I have this paper facing up. I have my transfer with my sticker showing. And I'm gonna line it up in the corner so that I know where it is. And then I need to carefully place this on here so that I'm not going into the part of the paper that's been cut already, that hole there. And I can kind of feel a little bump. I can also, if I'm looking really closely, I can see. So I'm gonna do this. Then I'm gonna hold my hand down and try to keep everything in place and just flip to make sure that it's not coming off the edge. And I think I'm in a good place. My helping hand holds my paper. I trace, pressing hard. And then I'm going to flip it and see. Okay, good. So it worked. The placement of where you put it is very important. So I always tell my students to cut the extra paper off when you're working with small things. And I'm going to go around and cut on my line. And these little things can get pretty tricky, so you just have to go slow. And remember, this hand is turning the page. This hand is just opening and closing the scissor. And when I'm working with something very small, I'm really closing the scissor super, super slow. Now, if you're young and you need help, I'm sure a grown-up can help you with these little areas, because this can get very tricky. But you're gonna do your best and cut as much as you can by yourself, and then you can ask somebody to help you, whether it's somebody sitting next to you or somebody at home. Okay, so I have the head. Immediately turn it over. Be very generous with the glue. And stick that on where it belongs and press it down and make sure it's really stuck. All right, so I am ready to add decorations, and I don't know if you guys remember, but I did have circles here. So basically you can use scraps of things, but I don't want to use a scrap with the same colors that I have here. I want to use something that's different. So I have these two papers, and I'm thinking I'm going to use these to make designs. My first circle, I want it to be kind of big. So I'm gonna take the paper and I'm gonna flip it over, and I don't wanna draw it right in the middle. I don't wanna waste this piece. I'm gonna draw it over in a corner. And now we're not using transfer paper. So we're done with this part. Now we just turn it to the back and draw right on the back and draw what you think you need. And then I can just cut that out. And the good news is that if this isn't perfect, it doesn't matter, because this is on the back, so we won't see these lines. So I cut it immediately so I don't lose my little piece. Generous with glue. Turn it over and press. Now I want to do that same thing on the other side. So I'm going to try to make a circle similar in size. Now, Eric Carle didn't even do eyes or a mouth or anything with pencil or marker. He collaged everything. So all the little details in his pictures are done with paper. So when you're ready, you can even do that. Maybe I'll do a little purple one inside. So I'll draw two little purple circles, and I'm going to glue them right inside. If it's a big paper, I like to cut this off. It's easier to work with. Cut on my line. And I'm gonna glue that right there. I always put glue on the back of the little piece and press. Okay? So that's how you go about adding your little designs and details. So the first video teaches you how to use transfer paper. The second video is teaching you now how to add your details. I hope that this is useful. Have fun with it and make some great art inspired by Eric Carle.